CFP versus CPA versus CFA. So these are three of the biggest designations in the financial space out there. And a lot of times folks have no clue what it means. They don't know what either three of these professions do, how they can help them, but they know it might look cool behind somebody's name. So let's take a few minutes and kind of go through the differences between these three certifications and their specializations and how they can help you achieve the financial goals that you have in your life or for your business. So in my mind, the biggest difference between these three, the CFP, CPA, and CFA, is really their breadth of knowledge and their depth of knowledge. So let me explain. So a CFP, which is what I am, a certified financial planner, is somebody that works with either individuals and families or small businesses, really at a one-on-one level, to help them get their financial house in order and to keep it in order in general. And a CFP has knowledge in a broad range of topics. And these are things from debt management, cash flow, budgeting, investing, insurance planning, estate planning, and on and on and on. Long story short, they have at least some knowledge in every facet of personal finance, including behavioral finance. While the difference is a CPA and a CFA are going to have potentially a narrower field of knowledge, but it's going to be a heck of a lot deeper than the CFP. So a CPA, a certified public accountant, is going to have a slightly narrower field of knowledge, but it's going to be all in taxes. So in my experience, and really in most people's, if you're looking to get tax advice, tax planning, bookkeeping, all sorts of stuff like that, really everything that it comes with taxes, you want to have a CPA's input and guidance in it. You really want to be working with a good CPA. In my experience, a good CPA is worth their weight in gold. Now, a CFA, a Chartered Financial Analyst, is similar in some senses to a CFP, where they are focused a lot more on investing. And really, that's the main thing that a CFA is focusing on. A Chartered Financial Analyst has a very deep knowledge in investing in various types of products, understanding investments from things from stocks, bonds, alternative type investments. If you're looking to set up a really deep bespoke type portfolio, let's say, a CFA is going to generally have more knowledge than the other two. So how does one become a CFP, CPA, or a CFA? Well, they all have strict and unique guidelines on how to earn those certifications. But in general, all three are going to need a bachelor's degree. In the CPA world, you're going to have to have studied at least a decent amount of accounting and business, varying a little bit state by state, but you're going to have at least some background in your degree in accounting or business. Now, all three of these also have education requirements. Now, the education requirements are different between all three of these as well. So with the CFP, you're going to have to go through the CFP curriculum in addition to your bachelor's degree. And that can take anywhere from like 9 to 18 months to complete, depending on how quickly you're doing it. Then after that, you're going to need to complete a comprehensive exam on all the stuff that you've gone over and pass that. After you've done that, you need to have at least 6,000 hours of professional experience, which basically equates to like 3 years in order to become a CFP and use the marks. And then you're finally going to have to sign an ethics pledge saying that you're going to put your client's best interest ahead of your own at all times when it comes to doing financial planning work for them. For a CFA, you've got the same education requirements that are going to be a bit more in depth when building up to those exams because they are much deeper in the investment sense. So the CFA exams are actually 3 separate exams that you have to pass sequentially in order to reach that CFA charter holder status. And frankly, they're pretty difficult. I would say that in the realm of investing, those CFA exams are a heck of a lot more difficult than the types of stuff you're going to go over in the CFP exam. But you have to keep in mind that the CFP is having to study a heck of a lot more things, a much broader amount of knowledge than potentially the CFA is going to be tested on. And it's similar with the CPA as well. They've got that narrower knowledge set than, let's say, a CFP, but it's going to be a lot deeper in the realm of taxes than the CFP would understand. The way I like to kind of talk about it is a CFP can help a lot with doing tax planning and looking forward and ahead for their clients, while a CPA a lot of times can be mostly rearward looking and helping you keep your books and helping you do your taxes for the previous year. But there are actually plenty of CPAs that also do forward-looking tax planning as well. It just depends on the type of practice that they've set up and the type of practice that they want to build moving forward. So if you're out there looking to work with a financial professional, how can you kind of work with these three designations, and how can it help you narrow in on the type of person you want to work with? Now, there are people out there that have all three of these designations, and frankly, I don't know where they really find the time to do all of that. The CFA, the CFP, the CPA exams and requirements, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. So if you find somebody out there that does all that and they're working, with people like you, it might be a good idea to ring them up and see if you could set up a meeting to work with them if that's something you're inclined to do. But in general, where I find the biggest strength to come from folks that hold these certifications is in them all working together. So for example, I'm a CFP. So I like to work hand in hand with a client CPA, if they're willing, because I feel like that synergy between the CFP and the CPA can really lead to a much better relationship with the client and a much better outcome for the client as well. Because if you've got those two professionals working kind of in silos and not talking and communicating and having to basically put the coordination on the shoulders of the client, that's going to mean things are going to get missed. And potentially you could be leaving money on the table that could be there for the client, and also peace of mind as well. You'll be missing out on that potentially. So one final closing point. There's a lot of other acronym certifications out there as well that a lot of people will have. And some of them are geared toward other types of specialties. But in my mind though, these three we're talking about are really kind of the gold standard in their respective areas. If you want to work with a financial planner, somebody that's going to help you get your financial house in order, you're going to want to look at working with a CFP. If you want to work with somebody to make sure your taxes are in order, either rearward-looking or forward-looking tax planning, working with a good CPA can really help you out. And if you're looking to build really good investment portfolios and that's the focus on what you want to have done, then a good CFA is going to be very helpful in that realm for you. But just remember those other acronyms out there, a lot of them are worth a lot, and there are certain certifications out there that are, let's say, more advanced level than some of the ones we talked about. But there's also a lot out there that are kind of just vaporware, made up stuff to make people look more credible. Not going to name any names right now because frankly, I don't want to get sued, but you can do your own research into some of these other certifications out there to kind of understand what goes into it, so you can get an idea of if it's vaporware or if it's actually value added to the professional you're looking to work with. And if there's anything else you'd like me to talk over in the future, drop it below, and I'll talk to you all next time.